In today's class, you will be using, or else I will be using the sine, cos, tan rules using SOHCAHTOA to solve in real world scenarios. Not only this, I'll take some heights and distance questions and law of sines, law of cosines. Okay, so let me quickly write what are the rules. First of all, sine theta. Let's say you are given a right angle triangle. In the right triangle, let's say that an unknown angle, this is theta. If this is theta, the side opposite to this theta, this is taken as opposite side. This is the opposite side. And opposite to 90 degrees, this is the hypotenuse. Always please remember the side opposite to 90 degrees, this is hypotenuse. And the third one is this is the adjacent side to theta. So sine theta rule is opposite side to theta over hypotenuse. Next, cos theta equals to adjacent side to theta over hypotenuse. Next, tan theta equals to opposite side to theta over adjacent side to theta. So here, why we call it as SOHCAHTOA means here the first letter. Let's take the first letter SOH, then CAH, and next TOA. So this is how SOHCAHTOA is formed. And also law of sines and law of cosines. The sine rule is it is A over sine A equals to B over sine B equals to C over sine C. Next, coming to the cos or cosine, these two are one and same. So, cos rule is C square equals to A square plus B square minus 2AB times cos C. Anyhow, these rules you have to remember. Starting with this example, find the missing side. Okay, so here an angle is given, which is 59 degrees. And please notice that the side opposite to 90 degrees, this is known as hypotenuse. Therefore, this is hypotenuse. Better you label all the parts. This is hypotenuse. And the next one is what is x? X means here, this is the side opposite to the angle, right? This is side opposite to the angle. Therefore, let me label this as opposite. Now, think of SOHCAHTOA, SOHCAH, I strongly recommend every time you to write SOHCAHTOA. So I see here opposite and hypotenuse. I see that, please notice that here we have been given hypotenuse value and opposite. These two are involved in this question. Therefore, where do you find these two means opposite and hypotenuse? You can see that OH. So we are going to use sine. So sine theta or angle equals to opposite over hypotenuse. I personally prefer to write completely like opposite side to the angle. Here the angle is 59 degrees, right? Therefore, sine 59 degrees equals to opposite side to 59 degrees. You can see that it is missing, which is x units over what is hypotenuse means. You see that it is 17. Now, take the calculator. Take the calculator. You may use online calculator. I'm computing sine 59. That is 0.8576 blah blah blah. So it is 0.857. After decimal, I'm taking 3 digits. X over 17. Now you know how to isolate. You know how to isolate this one. So we take times 17 in order to cancel the denominator, times 17 on both the sides. Therefore, what will happen in 17 and 17 gets cancelled. Then x equals to 17 times 0.857, which is 14.56. 14.56. That's the value of x. Once when you get the answer, you have to check, does it make sense or not? Whatever you computed, is it like I got 14.56, that's the value of x, 14.5. And if I compare with this hypotenuse, it is little less than that. That makes sense, yes. Suppose if I get x equals to 150 or 200 something, which is not possible, right? Now let's go to the next question. Next question. Here, angle is given as 27 degrees. As you know that the side opposite to 90 degrees, this is called as hypotenuse. This is hypotenuse. Then coming to x value, x is, I see that it is next to the angle. So we call this one as adjacent side. This is adjacent side. Okay, so where do you find adjacent and hypotenuse means? You see that adjacent and hypotenuse we find in cos theta. Okay, so let me write that cos. So here cos theta, let me take the angle, cos 27 degrees equals to adjacent side to 27 degrees. I personally prefer to mention the angle also over hypotenuse. Now, let me take my calculator. You can use online calculator or Desmos. So let me type what is cos 27.891. So it is giving me 0.891. Adjacent to 27 means, please notice that this is next to the angle. Next to the angle. Again, adjacent side and hypotenuse, these two are different. You know, hypotenuse means the side opposite to 90 degrees. So adjacent side is not known. So let me take it as x. What is hypotenuse means? I see that it is 20 units. Therefore, x over 20. Next one is you take times 20. You take times 20 in order to isolate x. So you may cancel out these. Then you get that the value of x equals to 0.891 multiplied by 20. That is giving me 17.82. 17.82. That's the value of x. As I mentioned before, you have to check whether does it make sense means. I would say yes, because it is less than 20. I see that hypotenuse is 20 units and the value of x is below that. As you know that hypotenuse is longer than the any of the sides. Okay. So now any questions on this, please? If you have any questions, please type in chat box, the comment box. So let's go to the next question. Again, which trig ratio you have to use means always I personally prefer to write SOHCAHTOA every time. In this question, I see that x is this is the missing side, and an angle is given as one of the angle is given as 40 degrees. This is 40. So you identify what values are given and which value you are asked to find. I see that this is 20, which is opposite to 40 degrees, which is opposite to 40 degrees. So let me label this one as opposite side. Opposite side. Already I discussed with you that the side opposite to 90 degrees, this is known as hypotenuse. But in this question, there is nothing to do with the hypotenuse because that is not labeled. Therefore, the other one is this is going to be the adjacent side. This is going to be the adjacent side. This is the adjacent. So where do you find adjacent and opposite means you see that OA. So opposite and adjacent. Therefore, we have to go with tan. So tan, what are the angle is there? I see that 40 degrees. Therefore, tan 40 degrees equals to, remember SOHCAHTOA, so TOA, right? Therefore, tan 40 equals to opposite side to 40 degrees over adjacent side to 40 degrees. Now, tan 40, again, I'm using my calculator, which is tan 40, this is giving me 0.839. 0.839 equals to, what is opposite means you see that it is given as 20 units, right? What is adjacent means adjacent you see that it is x. Actually, you may go for class multiplication, etc., but it is really a little lengthy process. In such case, what I recommend is the value that is to be computed if it is in the denominator. If it is in the denominator, so what I suggest you is you take the reciprocal on both the sides. Both the sides. That means 20 goes to the denominator and x goes to numerator. Likewise, the other side, 1 goes to numerator and 0.839 goes to the denominator. So this is how you can. Again, I am repeating, the value that is to be computed if it is in the denominator, it is a little struggle. So to avoid that, you take the reciprocals. That means 1 goes to numerator and 0.839 comes to the denominator, equals to x goes to numerator and 20 comes to denominator. Now here it is easy because in order to isolate the variable, we multiply by 20 on both the sides. So, 20 and 20 gets cancelled. The value of x is 20 times. Let me make use of calculator. 20 times 1 over 0.839. Okay, so the answer is 23.83. It is 23.83. As I mentioned before, always make sure that your answer is making sense because one of the sides are given as 20 and the other side a little longer. So it is quite possible. Whereas if I end up with x value is 230 or something, which is not possible, right? Okay, so let me go to the next question. This is a word problem. In this kind of word problems, I recommend you to draw a picture that represents the given scenario. A person flying a kite has released 176 meters of string. So let me think of flying a kite. So let's say that there is a kite. Mm, Probably you might have been seen this kind of, okay, a kite. Okay, it is flying in the air. Then let me take the straight lines. This is flying in the air. Okay, then this is the length of the string, and this is the horizontal distance on the ground. Okay, well, so uh, again, let me read the question again. A person, let me draw a person too. A person is flying a kite, has released 176 meters of string. You can imagine this way, and you can say that this is the length of the string, right? 176 meters. The string makes an angle of 27 with the ground. This is the ground, and the string is making an angle of 27 degrees. 27 degrees. How high the how high is the kite? That means the question is what is the value of this one, right? Therefore, we have to identify and label the parts. I see that angle of elevation is given. You know, if an angle is given from bottom to the top, that is angle of elevation, you know that. And always this is perpendicular. Perpendicular means 90 degrees. Okay. So the side opposite to 90 degrees, you know that this is known as hypotenuse. The side opposite to 90 degrees is known as hypotenuse. Therefore, this is hypotenuse. And next, this part is missing. This part is missing. I see that this is the side opposite to the given angle. The side opposite to the given angle, 27 degrees. Right? Therefore, this is opposite side. Now, think of Sokotowa. Think of Sokotowa. Where do you find opposite and height? OH. OH. Therefore, if I write SOH, there you go. Sokotowa. Okay. I see that opposite and hypotenuse then sine. Let me write the sine condition. Sine equals to opposite to the angle or opposite side over hypotenuse, right? Now we know all these details, which is first thing is the string length of string is given as 176 meters. Angle of elevation is 27 degrees, and the question is what is the height. Okay, now let's plug in these values. Opposite side we don't know, so let it be x. What is hypotenuse means? It is given that 176 meters. And here it is sine 27. My apologies, I forgot to write the angle. So let me write here sine 27 degrees. So I'm making use of my calculator again. What is sine 27? Sine 27 equals to 0.45. 0.45. You know how to isolate x. we eliminate by taking the inverse operation, which is times 176 on both the sides. So 176 point, 176 multiplied by 0.45, that is giving me 79.2 meters. So this gives you the value of height of, because we thought the height of the kite is x. So this gives us the value of height of the kite, which is 79.2 meters. Okay. Now questions on this, please. You may type in comment box if you have any. Okay. Moving to the next question. This is slightly different, but it is not difficult. What is the length of side B? So, if angle B is 60 degrees, okay, in the diagram angle is not given, so let me take if it is 60 degrees, then what is the length of B? What is the length of B? Please notice that in this question, I see that an angle is given and two sides are given, right? And you are asked to find the third side. You are asked to find, my apologies, third side. Therefore, listen carefully here. One angle is given, and you are asked to find three sides. Again, one angle, three sides. So which rule I have to use means, really quick. Going back to this one, please remember that three sides, oops, my apologies. So here, if you are asked to find, three sides are involved means we go with cosine rule. So let me take the cosine or cos rule here. So cosine rule is c square, but here instead of c square I see that angle b is given, so instead of c square let me write that b square equal to the other two letters, which are a square plus c square minus what are the letters you are taking here, those letters are to be like taken as 2a's. It's not the actual rule is c square equals to a square plus b square minus 2ab, but here you are asked to find b value, therefore I am taking here as a b square. When you write b square here, then obviously the other two letters, which are the a square and c square, are taken. Times cos, whatever the letter you start with, that angle is to be taken. So that is cos b, cos b. Now let's plug in these values. What is side A means the side opposite to angle A, which is 4. Therefore 4 square plus C square, the side opposite to angle C, which is 7. Therefore 7 square minus 2 times A value, just now we noticed that it is 4, and what is C value means it is 7. Therefore 2 times 4 times 7, and what is cos B means you can see that the angle is given as 60 degrees. Therefore cos 60 degrees. 4 square gives me 16, 7 square gives me 49, minus 2 times 4 8, 8 times 7 56, to be multiplied by cos 60. What is cos 60 means? Let me make use of calculator. Cos 60 degrees is giving me 0.5. Okay. If you follow PEMDAS, we go with the multiplication first, neither adding nor subtracting. You know PEMDAS. So what is 56 times 0.5? So this is to be multiplied by 56. That's giving me 28. Therefore, 16 plus 49. Just now I computed half of 56, that is giving me 28. So subtract 28. So easy now. So 16 plus 49, take away 28, that is 37. So b square equals to 37. Please remember, when square is eliminated, the other side we keep square root. Therefore, the value of b equals to square root of 37. Let me compute square root of 37 on my calculator. It is 6.08. The value of b is 6.08. Actually, this is how we compute. You practiced this kind of question several. Once when you are done, the value of b is to be copied here 6.08, and then next I don't have enough. Okay, yeah, I have some space. I'll create otherwise. Okay, so we are done with part 1. And coming to part 2, what you have to do is this is to be taken with a different value. I see that angle B is 55. So if angle B is 55, then what is the value of this one? So in one question you have 3 parts. In one question you have 3 parts. Again, we have to compute. Only thing is, in the place of cos 60, we will be taking cos 55 degrees. Cos 55 degrees. If I were you, then instead of doing all the calculations, just I copy paste it and I plug in the value of cos instead of 60, then I'll be taking cos 55. Again, I am repeating. The solution is almost same except the angle is changed. Therefore, what is cos 55? You take it and multiply times cos 55. This is what you are expected to do, or else you may compute the second part and the third part. Then what is the value of b if angle b is 55? What is the value of angle b when it is 50 degrees? This is what you have to do. Okay, let's move to the next question, which is the last question for today's session. 3 sides are given and you are asked to find what is the measure of angle A and what is the measure of angle C. Okay, so let's start with the angle C. This one seems to be a little easier. Okay, angle C value is not known, so let me consider that angle C equals to x degrees. This is x degrees, and you can take any 2 sides. All the 3 sides are given, so this is one. I call it as the opposite side, right? So you may take opposite side, hypotenuse, or you may take the adjacent side, as you like. So in this question, what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to take maybe the opposite side, which is 6 units, and the adjacent side, opposite and adjacent. Okay, so let me think of the SOHCAHTOA. So let me write it here: SOHCAHTOA. You please write as many times as possible. Whenever you solve a problem, always you write SOHCAHTOA. That reminds you every time. Well, so if I'm taking opposite and adjacent OA, the first letters OA, right? Therefore, OA means, my bad, I see that it is in TOA, right? Therefore, let's write that Opposite side is 6 units. Adjacent side it is 8 units. Then TOA. So tan, what's the angle? X degrees. Opposite side to x degrees over adjacent side to x degrees. So those values, opposite side means already we mentioned here, which is 6 units over adjacent side, you see that 8 units, so 6 over 8. Whenever you are asked to find the angle, you have to do a small jugglery. So x goes to other side, whatever the value, let it be a decimal or maybe a fraction or a whole number, bring it to the other side. When you do this, 6 over 8 comes to the other side and x goes to the other side of the equal to. At this point, don't forget to keep this inverse sign, tan inverse. Now, how to find this one means there is an online calculator, Desmos, and all the instructions are given. The first and foremost thing is don't forget you have to change from radians to degrees in the settings side. It's already mentioned here. Go to settings, there is a wrench or a spanner kind of thing. Then later on, you may use the keyboard. Already we discussed this one earlier, so let me go back. But instead of Desmos, I'm using my TI-84 calculator. So if you are using TI-84, click on second, tan, and then type whatever the values there. Here it is 6 over 8. That is giving me 36.86. Therefore, the value of the angle is 36.86 degrees. Oops, my apologies. So let me write this side. 36.86 degrees, that's the value of the x. Here, you know two angles. Just now you figured it out, the value of x. Oops, my bad. So here, just now you figured it out. The value of x is 36.86. If you want, you may round it to the next one, which is 37. Remember, sum of three angles of a triangle is 180. We know that this is perpendicular 90 degrees, and then you can figure out using sum of three angles of a triangle is 180. But I want find the value of a using trigonometry. As I mentioned before, you can find it in two ways. You can find it in two ways. That is, sum of three angles. Sum of three angles of a triangle equals to 180 degrees. And next, I know one is 90 degrees. The other one is rounded to 37. And what is the third angle means, which is A, is 180. So 90 plus 37, that gives me 127 plus A equals to 180. You know how to isolate A by inverse operation, which is subtraction. Value of A equals to, it is 53 degrees. This is one method. The other method is, let me take let's take, let me clear off a few things here. Okay. Now you don't know what is the value of angle A, right? Then let me consider this side, which is the opposite. You can take any other side of your choice, but here I'm planning to take hypotenuse. So again, I'm repeating, if I'm considering angle A, then it is going to be the opposite side. right? And where do you find opposite and hypotenuse? Opposite and hypotenuse. Think of SOHCAHTOA, opposite and hypotenuse. I see that in sine. Okay, therefore, sine A equals to opposite over hypotenuse. So let's plug in these values. I don't know what is the value of A. What is opposite to A means you see that it is 8 units. Hypotenuse, I see that 10 units. As I mentioned before, when you are computing the angles and moving this part, that is angle, to the other side and the fraction to this side. Okay, so sine, don't forget to keep inverse sine. Sine inverse 8 over 10 equals to angle A. Please practice using either TI-84 calculator or Desmos uh, to calculate the angles, so that if you are taking any test, then it becomes easy. Okay, so let me make use of my TI-84 calculator. Second sine, that gives me sine inverse 8 over 10, 53.13. So it is 53.13 degrees, and this one I'm rounding it to 53 degrees. 53 degrees. In fact, when you use it the other method, there also you got angle A equals to 53 degrees. Okay, so math is something like learning swimming. I can teach you any number of problems, but if you don't practice, let's say that I'm teaching you some swimming lessons, and once if you jump into the swimming pool, you know only theory and no practice, means what happens? You will struggle and you will suffocate, right? In the same way, math is also, when I teach you something, I expect you to practice. If you don't practice, then it is difficult for you to master the content. So please practice some more questions. That's it from me for today's class. If you have any questions, please feel free to send an email. Right? That's it. Bye, guys.